You know what? What if I told you that your financial future has already been determined by just four numbers? And these are numbers that most people never track, or worse, they don't even know about it. But the truth is, once you start tracking these numbers, you understand why wealthy people pay so much attention to these numbers religiously, if I must add, and why broke people or people that live paycheck to paycheck usually don't focus on these numbers. And the truth is, if you don't like what these numbers are predicting about your financial future, I'll also show you exactly how you can change them. I won't just show you these numbers, I'll also show how you can change or improve yours. The first crucial number you need to track is your savings rate. Your savings rate is the percentage of your income that you're setting aside for your future, whether that's retirement or your emergency fund. That's your savings rate. A simple way to determine this is if, for example, you have £3,000 hit your account at the end of the month and you invest £500, let's say to an ISA. 500 of £3,000 is 17%. But the way I see it, that's not the full picture, especially if you also contribute to a pension from your day job, right? And that's from your gross before it's been taxed. I prefer a difference calculation, which I believe is more accurate, right? Where you add your pension contributions to your income and to your savings. So a quick example again. Let's say you contribute £200 to your pension from your salary. So that means 500 that you contribute to your ISA, or after tax, you add 200 to that, making it 700, and your income of 3,000, you add 200 to that, making it 32. Then 700 out of 3,000, doing the math will take you to about 22% savings rate. That's how to calculate your savings rate. Very simply. This gives you a much more accurate picture of how much of your income are you truly setting aside for the future, because that's what we want to calculate. And using this calculation, your savings rate target should be at the minimum between 15 to 20%. That's what you should be aiming for. But the truth is, the higher your savings rate, the faster you're going to reach your retirement goals. And one thing I love about savings rate is it forces financial discipline. It requires you to live below your means automatically. It also prevents lifestyle inflation as your income grows. So if your savings rate is 10% of 3,000 and it's still 10% of 6,000, it's the same. You are not just spending everything, right? But what if you are at a place where you're not doing anything close to 15 to 20%? And that was where I started, right? So I know what this looks like. There are two things that you can do to improve your savings rate. Just two things. The first is to reduce your burn rate. And this does not mean living like a monk, right? But instead, you want to focus on the big expenses. You want to focus on your housing, transportation, food. These are the massive ones. Any change you make in these categories of expense will have a massive impact on your overall numbers. And the second part to this equation, so number one, you reduce the expenses. Secondly, you want to increase your income. Just imagine that your expenses go down and your income goes up, let's say by 10% each. That would contribute to a bigger savings rate. So a simple example to drive this home. Let's say your income, let's say you move from a £30,000 net job to a £50,000 net job, and your lifestyle still remains at 28,000. You're only spending 28,000. Your savings rate has just moved from 2,000 to 22,000, which is like 7% to 44% savings rate, because you've reduced the expenses and you've increase your income. So that's the first number. The second critical number on your path to millionaire status is actually your essential expense, or as I would say, your burn rates, right? So these are the bills that you pay to maintain your basic lifestyle. Think of your mortgage, your rent, transportation, utilities, you name it, debt, food, all of these expenses ideally shouldn't be no more than 55 to 60% of your net income. Because if your essential expenses is up to 70% or more, that's big, big trouble. And you seriously need to find ways to bring that percentage down, right? So instead of wasting time trying to reduce expenses that don't matter, like maybe your daily coffee or one streaming subscription, maybe cutting £10 Spotify subscription that will save you £120 in a year, which is not bad in itself. Why don't you look at those big expenses, the big three, big four that I will call it? Because any changes you make there would be massive results for you. Let's say, for example, you decide to downsize your home, right? You move from paying a rent of £3,000 per month, or let's say £2,000 per month, maybe it's a 3-bedroom flat, and you move to a 2-bedroom where you're now paying from 2K to £1,700, £300 every month, and £3,600 in a year. That's a lot different than cutting off Spotify. With that, you can decide to pay for as many Spotify subscriptions as you like. So cutting down your essential expenses by just 5%, 10% can drastically increase your savings rates, because that's a bigger chunk of your expenses. The third number you need to track is your discretionary expenses, or what I would call your wants. This is money that you have complete freedom to spend however you want. It's what's left after you've spent your essential expenses and you've invested, you've saved. It's what's remaining. If your essential expenses is 55% of your income and you're saving 20%, that leaves about 25% for this discretionary spending. Things like restaurants, entertainment, your Netflix, hobbies, vacation gifts, all of that, they are all rolled up in this. And the truth is, let's be real for a moment. What's the point of money if it's not to enjoy it, right? You're watching this video to better understand your finances, but for a deeper reason, right? So that you can be able to retire comfortably, or so that you could have freedom, or so that you would have enough to spend on things that you value, things that you love. Money is just a tool to help you experience and enjoy life. Yes, we need to be responsible to ensure financial security, but we should also be enjoying the journey on the way to financial freedom. The goal I strive for personally, and I preach this, is intentional spending. Before any purchase, ask yourself, does this purchase align with what brings me joy and what I value? Think about those questions. If you ask yourself these questions consistently before making major purchases, it would help you to spend intentionally. It would eliminate impulse purchase that would not actually improve your life. For example, if you value travel, right, and you find out that most of your discretionary expenses is going towards buying stuff on Amazon, then you know that you need to cut down on that and realign your spending to what you love and what you value. Be intentional with your discretionary spending. It's for you to spend how you want, but spend it on what really matters to you. The final number, and perhaps the most important one, if you stayed up until this time, thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if it's making sense to you. Now, the final number is your net worth. Now, if you don't know your approximate estimated net worth right now, is something you need to calculate immediately. Think about it this way. If you're trying to lose weight, let's say you want to lose 10 kg or 5 pounds or whatever, right? And you have no idea what your current weight is, how would you know when you're making progress? That's very simple. It's the same thing with net worth. You're trying to get to a certain destination, what I call, you want to know what is enough. You want to get somewhere with terms of your finances. You need to know where you are today. And how to calculate your net worth is very simple. Add up all your assets, your house, investment, cash, everything. You don't have to be accurate. Just a rough estimate, that's enough. and then you subtract all your debt, mortgage, car loans, credit cards, all of that. The result, the difference between those two is your net worth. So if you have a house, let's say worth 200,000, investment, bank account, maybe 20K, but you now owe 30,000 on a car loan, your net worth is maybe 190,000, right? Now, if you check the description, I've created a free net worth tracker that you can actually download. The link is in the description. Check it out, and it's for free so that you can calculate yours today. A very simple spreadsheet. You just enter your assets, your liabilities, and it will show you the trend of your net worth over time if you keep tracking that number, right? That's what that spreadsheet is for. So check it out. So here is why this matters. Millionaires, wealthy people know their worth, their net worth all the time. They are always tracking their net worth, and it helps them to keep on top of their finances. This consistent monitoring would also keep you motivated as you watch your wealth grow over time, right? Most importantly, wealth building stops being an abstract goal. It's not something that high up, a pie in the sky. No, it becomes something that is tangible, something that you can see, something you can measure, something that you can see how you're making progress or lack of progress. And that's it. The 4 essential numbers that you need to track if you want to hit the £1 million goal, right? Number 1, savings rate. Target 10 to 20%. Number 2, you need to know your fixed expense. Keep it under 50%, max 55%. Then your discretionary spending and your net worth. You need to track that consistently. Don't forget the link for the net worth tracker in the description. You could download it. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe. We release videos like this every week. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.